It's day 35, and it's a Saturday. It means I've done 4 weeks of work at the clinic, and this last week was intense, amazing. I explained to Kobe, it's like when I gave birth to Danya, all of my neurons in my body were like firing at the same time to deliver the baby, and it was like, oh my god, it was like, it was overwhelming. Overwhelming is an understatement. What did they say? Childbirth isn't a pain, it's a sensation, like a hurricane is a gust of wind or something like that. So everything is moving at the same time, and this transformation, it's like the butterfly coming out of the cocoon, and I'm the butterfly and I'm coming out, and it's every nerve. I mean, I was at a point that my fingers, I couldn't use my fingers. It was like total exhaustion. And I've heard of many people that have had, even with me now, that have like flu-like symptoms, like their body just goes, into collapse. I think I've had a low-grade fever a few times, and my body's collapsed. So really grateful for this transformation. Also grateful today's a Saturday, so I don't have exercise class, and my energy is suddenly going somewhere else. So I cleaned the house. Well, two things. Okay, the second thing is I cleaned the house. I swept everything, swept my patio, scrubbed down the kitchen, cleaned the fridge. I scrubbed here. I organized my fridge. I scrubbed everything, took it out, organized it, and then I did something really gorgeous that was joyful and single-mindedness, total single-mindedness. I found some green onions that weren't doing so hot, so I just sat here quietly listening to Thinking Out Loud by Ed Sheeran. Oh, such a song. And I just took off all the slightly dry and old pieces, and I've just created this. Look at this rejuvenation. This is so like equating to what I'm doing in my body, right? Just that. And then I also did something else. I decided that I really want to take on rituals that are healthy and spiritual and balancing. So I thought, what ritual do I want to make? And I started by saying I want to light an incense, and then say 5 things I appreciate, sort of like as a tradition, as a ritual, bowing down to the incense, saying 5 things I appreciate, and then maybe to meditate for a few minutes. And then the other thing I came up with is I want to write 1 inspirational entry in my journal. And then I came up with this. I created an altar. I just took all the things I have that are really precious to me and put them together in one section. And I lit an incense. And I said, I will be involved in spiritual things until the incense is gone. And I was really tempted to look at the clock and say, well, how much time is that? How much time are you devoting to this? Is it 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes? And I said, no, don't make this a time thing. Make it an incense thing. Make this ritual non-linear. Give it just spiritual space. So until the incense was done. So I watched the smoke. I bowed down to my altar. I said 5 things I appreciate, which were beautiful, brings such wonderful energy inside of me. I meditated on the floor for a few minutes until I didn't want to anymore. And then I came to the computer and I looked up quotes, and I wrote down, I got to write 2 quotes today. Mark Halpern, and the big part of it was, no matter, it all happened at once in less than an instant, and time was invented because we cannot comprehend in one glance the enormous and detailed canvas that we've been given, so we track it in linear fashion piece by piece. Time, however, can be easily overcome, not by chasing the light, but by standing back far enough to see it all at once. The universe is still and complete. Everything that ever was is, and everything that ever will be is, and so on in all possible combinations. Though in perceiving it we imagine that it is in motion and unfinished, it is quite finished and quite astonishingly beautiful. In the end, or rather as things really are, any event, no matter how small, is immediately and sensibly tied one to the other. And it just goes on. Beautiful. So Mark Halpern quote, and then I did some Ajahn Chah quotes. And then I had some time left, so I did walking meditation to the heart meditation of the Strong Wings. So it was such a beautiful new tradition, And I think that I needed that space, not to have clinic for a day or two, just to create that. So now I have a new ritual that I love, empowers me, and it brought me much joy, and I hope to continue it the rest of my time here and at home. Which makes me think of that thing I saw on Facebook. It was so funny. It's like a mom and then Santa. Mom, Santa, mom, Santa. So mom says, Santa says, what do you want for Christmas? And mom says, I want a unicorn. And Santa says, be realistic. So mom says, okay, I want to drink my coffee for 5 minutes. I want to sit down for 5 minutes and drink my coffee, and I want to pee in peace. And Santa says, what color unicorn do you want? You know? So I'm hoping to take that home with me. We'll see how it goes. And cleaning, it was awesome. It's part of, our soul work too, the cleaning. What happens outside reflects what happens inside. And when I'm cleaning, I organize my desk today. I put this here, and this was here. And, when you organize the outside, you organize the inside. It's all this great process. So I'm looking forward to eating some veggies with my green onions. I made honey ginger lemon tea and just relax the rest of the day. Maybe some of the friends from the clinic, maybe we'll go to Agonda, to the beach, to eat at the Italian restaurant, Depot's restaurant. We'll see. And that's it. Just really appreciative and full of joy and happiness, and avoiding contact with my neighbor because it's part of my spiritual journey, but I want to be alone. I do. A lot of lessons there. Oh, and look how far I've gotten. Yeah.